Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again for joining us today. We've got a very special guest, and it's none other than Mark. And Mark Ellis is our visual arts teacher, really, really well-known teacher, and with a lot of qualities. And we've probably got a graffiti in the school, and that's also because of Mark. So I'll pass on. We've got a little scary Mark in the photo there, which you can see. I'm going to ask him why was he so scared. I mean, I would be scared as well if I was in that photo as well. So I'll pass on to Mark. Welcome, Mark, to the show, and tell us about the photo. Tell us about yourself as well, what you do in the school.
Thank you, Sheikh. Yes, at the school I'm teaching year 3 to year 7 art to all the boys and girls. So it's great. I'm enjoying every minute of it. It's fantastic. So it's been fantastic. As you know, I'm new to the school, so thank you. I feel very flattered or honoured to be part of your interview segments. I think they're fantastic, by the way. Really great for morale. Every school should do this. Such a good idea. Thank you. About the photo, yes, this is a photograph of me as a little boy in Papua New Guinea, taken by my parents, and we're in a small town in the mountains in Papua New Guinea. The town is called Mount Hagen, and each year, and this still goes on to this day, each year they have a big tribal celebration. And what happens is all the tribes all dress up in their traditional clothing, and they all walk into town. And there's a central field in the middle of the town, and they each, in order, perform their dances. But because it's Papua New Guinea, we don't call it dancing, we call it sing-sing. So the tribal sing-sings. So this particular tribe, you can see they're all in matching costumes. So my mum or my dad must have said, hey, this will look great, Mark. Can you just stand just there? And we'll get a photo with all these really impressive warriors standing right behind you.
Oh, look, that was really good. Look, I actually, you know the jazz. I'm going to ask you those 3 main questions, and tell us what you and it's in a way to get to know more about the staff as well. So my first question, like always, is what is something you always wanted to learn?
Something I've wanted to learn. I briefly touched on this when I was a teenager, is learning to play the guitar. So I very briefly attempted the guitar, and it was all just too hard, to match your left hand with the right hand and change chords at the same time and look up at the sheet music. So it all was just a bit too hard. So then I gave it away. And then a few years later, I then picked up the saxophone, and the saxophone just came easy to me. I don't know why, but I remember the first time I played it, I thought, oh, this just comes naturally or easily or something. Anyway, so I've been playing the saxophone ever since and love the saxophone. But just in the last year or so, I've thought, I wonder if I think now I know how to actually go back and coordinate the hands and maybe learn the guitar properly.
Well, look, at any string instrument, it's not an easy one to do. It's not an easy one to hack, I'll tell you that.
No, that's right. That's right.
So look, we wish you all the best. Once you learn the guitar, you can actually teach me as well. I had this dream that I'm going to be it's not going to look nice for a sheikh, for a priest to play guitar. So
yeah, they look good.
So what is something you really know well? I know you know your graffiti well. I mean, I've seen your work. I'll tell you that.
Thank you. Something that I know well, and this would make sense, and this is why I think I'm well suited to teaching, is I think I know people really well. With my history, I've travelled a bit, and I've lived in different countries, and I've taught at a whole range of schools, primary schools, high schools, taught at well-run schools, badly run schools, wealthy school, poor school, schools with high morale, like ours. And I've also, unfortunately, been at schools with low morale. And all of these places I've worked and taught, different countries, different states of Australia. I've naturally met lots of people, and I've just learned, how I can get along, with all these people and how to work in different environments, whether it's primary, high school, well, what religion the school is, because I've been in, Anglican schools, Muslim school, Catholic schools, and so on. So I like to think I can work and meet and get along with a whole range of people. And it suits me as well to actually being a teacher with children. So all of these children, like currently I'm teaching, I think roughly 250. So you need to know these different personalities and get the best out of them. And I think to do that well, you need to be a pretty good judge of character, how to get the best out of people.
I can really vouch for that one, because you're learning about 250 non-English names, and that must be really hard, I tell you that.
Yes. I look back on my first week, and I should have recorded that. I think that would have been hilarious, the way I was just munching, their names, and they'd all look at me and giggle. And one girl I've been calling Mary Ann for about a month or something. She's in year 7, and I've been calling her Mary Ann. Her name's spelled Maireann. So I thought it was Mary Ann. So I've been calling her Mary Ann. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is not Gilligan's Island. I bet it's not Mary Ann. Anyway, she very politely told me that, no, Mr. Ellis, it's not Mary Ann.
Well, look, you're doing a good job. You're not like one of my friends back in UK. He called all of us Muhammad. So for some reason, he said that was the easy way to go. Everyone was Muhammad.
Yeah, that's not great.
My final question: what are people usually surprised to find out about you?
A surprising or funny story is that despite the fact I've been living in Australia for over 30 years, I only became an Australian 3 years ago. It's because I thought I was Australian the whole time. And then I went in to get my passport renewed, and they said, oh, no, the rules have changed now. Can you just bring in the certificate, the sheet of paper that says you're Australian? And I went home scratching my head, and I thought, I've never seen a sheet of paper that says I'm an Australian. So then I phoned my mum. She's still living in Papua New Guinea. I phoned her and said, Mum, is there a sheet of paper that says I'm an Australian? And she says, no, because we were born in Papua New Guinea, and Papua New Guinea used to be a territory of Australia. As you probably know, it used to be owned by Australia. So back in those days, in the 60s, like that photo there, they just gave you a passport, and they said the passport proves that you're Australian. So I never had a sheet of paper. So all these years I've been living in Australia, my only proof that I was Australian was this passport up until it expires. So then once it expired, they said, no, you have to bring in a piece of paper. I contacted the immigration department and said, I don't have a sheet of paper that says I'm Australian, so what do? And they said, oh, that's okay, sir. You're what we call a 114.
114.
A 114. And I thought, what on earth is that? And he said, oh, you're what we call someone who's in between. You're not Papua New Guinean and you're not Australian. You're in this gap. So we call you a 114. So he said, if you can just send all this proof in, your grandma's middle name and all of this information, then we'll promptly send you a certificate that says you're Australian.
We'll probably tip you over the 114.
Yes.
Well, that must be really amusing. I mean, going around and listening to the word 114. I like that 114.
Yeah, that's right. So what are you? I'm a 114. I'm not Australian yet. I'm a 114.
Well, that's that's the funniest thing I've probably heard. 114.
I know.
All right. Look, in these difficult times, we're all struggling, and we've got such a great family, as you said, the high morale schools that you worked in. I would like you to give us a piece of advice.
My a little bit of advice for everybody is to consciously put things into your day that make you happy. So, and then for me, it's about 4 things. So, for example, every single day we exercise. So my daughter, who's just there in the bedroom doing her online learning, my daughter and I go and shoot hoops every day. So if we finish school, we have a bit of an hour relaxing, and then we go out and shoot hoops. And just recently, we've decided to alternate it with soccer. So we'll go basketball one day, soccer the next day, soccer, basketball. So I recommend daily exercise. The other thing we do is we eat fruit I think as long as you eat at least one piece of fruit, so we've already had ours today. Another one I do is comedy. The last thing I do right at the end of the day before I go to bed is I watch a comedy, a TV show. So I'll pass on to you. I highly recommend. It's on the ABC. It's called Rosehaven. It's a really gentle, nice show about this guy and this girl, and they're sort of odd characters. It's that old odd couple scenario, and it's about life in Tasmania, and I think it's hilarious. Anyway, that's what I watch at the end of the day. I think they're my three. Music, yes. Always listening to lots of music. I recommend people make playlists. Like I have a playlist, like a morning playlist. I sort of call it like a sunrise. All the songs to start off the day, songs that you would say get you into a good mood. Like the Beatles wrote, a song called Good Morning and Here Comes the Sun and a whole bunch of great songs. So, yeah, they're my four things that I would just pass on to just keep yourself happy and keep yourself upbeat and healthy mind and healthy body.
Well, look, I would have never guessed or judged that you listen to Beatles. I mean, I grew up with Beatles as well.
They're great.
Well, when you said, I mean, Beatles was something so big back in UK. And, I don't know if you know Blackbird singing The Dead of Night.
Yes.
One of the greatest songs that came out back in the days. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that on camera. I'll probably get myself in trouble. I mean, what's the priest got to do listening to music?
No, that's great.
Well, look, it was honor to interview you, but it's not the end yet. Know the mind-boggling quiz is ready for you now. So hopefully you can get this right. It's not the right answer. It's just using your brain rightly. So hopefully you can do that.
Yes.
Right, I'll take the picture off. We really like that picture. Now I'm going to put the quiz on, and there we go. So listen to it, and then I'll give you 10 seconds to answer that.
Okay.
There we go. Let me put the volume up. Everything's right. Here we go.
Question number 5. Larry's father has 5 sons named 10, 20, 30, 40, and what's the name of his 5th son? Time is ticking.
It sounds too easy. It's not what I was thinking. So he's got 5 sons?
He's got 5 sons, 10, 20, 30, and 40. What's the name of the 5th son?
Oh, man, it's... I do love these riddles. It's obviously not the obvious answer. What would he call his son? Larry Jr.?
Larry Jr. Let's see if that's the right answer.
It's Larry's father, which means that his 5th son's name is, of course, wait for it, Larry. Did you get it? Tell us in the comments below.
You got half the answer right. Larry Jr. Larry Jr. We'll take it. Obviously, it's Larry's father. So, Larry Jr. Because the kid did look a small kid. So, Larry Jr. I'll give you that one. So, that's the right answer, guys. It was an honor to, speak to you, Mark. I've actually done that before. We've had our intimate conversations on the table of food before as well. But you know what? I really, enjoy my conversations with you. I really wanted to let you know. And I will take your recommendations, a really nice recommendation, like kicking the ball and going out with the family. Really, it takes a lot off you.
It does. And thank you. I have to say, what you're doing, this interview segment is fantastic also, naturally, for mental health, which I'm sure is the reason you're doing it. So even this, and I've heard other people say they're looking forward to it, and I've gone through and watched all of them naturally, and now I'm starting to go back and watch them a second time. I just think it's fantastic. It's really good. Thank you so much.
Well, as you rightly guessed, for my mental health, that's why I'm doing it.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching it. and a good friend today. We had Mark, although Mark's very new, but I actually know Mark really well. We've been together for so many other conversations as well. I wish you all the best, and everyone that's watching. All right, look after yourself. Goodbye now.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good. Now I'm gonna actually introduce you. So give me 1 second. Let me get this right. So I'll call you the visual arts teacher.
Okay. That's a good title.
All right.